starting to jump in a little bit deeper into our family series and making sure that we bring clarity to this whole process of relationships. It has been quite interesting for me to receive a numerous of texts and numerous of emails in reference to some of the things that we've shared thus far. And the amazing thing is, a lot of people don't. They if they knew what they know now, a lot of them say they probably wouldn't be married. But I think it's more or less it's not the marriage that's the issue. I think it's the way that they went about doing it to find that special person to spend the rest of their life with. And look at Genesis 24:67. Now I'm gonna read something to you before you get to 67, and then I'll get to you on 67. It said in Genesis 24, verse 64 says, Rebekah lifted up her eyes, and when she saw Isaac, she dismounted her camel. She said to the servant, now listen to what she said. Now, this is going to be the part that helps you to be able to grasp this whole process of finding true love. Now, notice what she said. She said to the servant, who is that man walking in the field to meet us? And the servant said, he is my master. Then she took her veil and covered herself. Now, I want you to catch this. Now, this is going to help you. The servant told Isaac all the things that he had done. Now, verse 67 says what? Says what? And y'all the only one got the paperwork. Let's go. Was comforted after his mother's death. Now, I want you to keep that in mind because it's going to help you to be able to understand what we're going to deal with understanding how to find your true love. Now, I'm going to say some stuff today that's going to mess you up. I'm going to tell you in advance. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. I'm going to say some stuff that going to probably make you mad with me. Some of you going to be glad. And some of you going to be thinking, I wish I'd have known this before I got married. I'm just going to be honest with you up front. Because this is what's happening in the society in which we live in today. Most folks, now I want you to hear me. This is my thesis statement so you can get it. Most people marry out of emotions. Hear me. Most people marry out of emotions. Y'all looking like y'all did that. This side like, yeah, that's what I did. But I want you to keep that in mind because it's critical for you to understand it. And I don't like to hear people say this. I want to get married because I'm in love. Okay. Why are you in love? I don't know. You want to marry them, but you don't know why you want to marry them. Because they make me happy. That's an emotion. Father, these folks that you've given us today to listen, I pray that you allow them to lead with clarity. And Father, I pray that you allow us as a church to continue to be authentic and real and true to you as it relates to your divine word. And Father, now I pray as David often prayed, you let the words of my mouth and meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight. Why? Because you are my strength and you are my redeemer. And we ask it all in your son, Jesus Christ's name we do pray. In Jesus' name we do pray. And people of God said, you may be seated. I want you to understand that this is it's going to be challenging, but it's also going to be truthful. If you're in here today, you have experienced love from somebody. If you a child of your babies in here, they experience love from their moms and dads. They experience now listen to me. They experienced a unconditional love, meaning that they was loved and they didn't do anything to their parents to make them love them. Don't miss that. They're gonna come back to you. They were loved, watch this, in spite of the person that they got together with to have that child. This baby is loved irregardless if the father is even involved in their life. The child is still loved, and that child didn't do anything merit-wise to be loved. Now, why are you telling me that, Pastor? Because most of us in here want that special person. Let's be honest. You want that special person in your life. I hear this from single ladies more than I do for men. I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be lonely. I hear that. Now, I want you to hear me. I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be lonely. Stay with me, because I'm finna hit you. I would beg to share with you that there are many married people that are alone. There are many married people that are lonely. And they got someone coming home to them every single day, but they are still feeling alone and lonely. Why? They got somebody there. Why? Because they're not experiencing love. They're not experiencing the type of love that God built them for, designed them for, and since they're not experiencing it, that's why they feel alone and lonely. Finding true love can seem difficult, I understand. But a big question to consider is this: what is your definition of love? I want you to hear me now, because I need for you to get this. If you don't know your definition of true love, what makes you think the person that you want it from know it? If you don't know what you expect, what's your vision? Now, I want you to hear me. Habakkuk chapter 2 says, write the vision and make it plain. So Habakkuk is telling the whole nation of Israel, God has given me a word for you, and I've written it down. Watch this, and I'm going to present it to you, and I'm going to present it to you in such a simple fashion that you don't have an excuse for not knowing what God has said. Now, let me ask you a question. Why you can't do that to somebody that you want to fall in love with? I told y'all this is going to be a little rough now. Because I need you to catch that, because what has happened is so many men and so many women fall in love with a physical person that they're not involved in. Watch this, they're not involved with them spiritually yet. Because I'm going to tell you, the struggle is real. Many of women sit and wonder, what am I doing wrong? Why I can't be happy? Why I can't enjoy life? Why I can't? But you looking at somebody else's, watch this, image of love, and as you look at their image of love, I want you to hear me now. You don't see what's behind door number one. You don't know what hell they're going through at home, and they perpetrate to you to make you think all is well with my soul. But you don't know how many nights she's cried herself to sleep because she's sick of what she's laying beside. Oh, she looks so, I hear you. She looks so happy. They look so happy. Honey, be a fly on the wall. At church, he seems like the most loving and kind and gentle man. He opens the door. Didn't let you see, almost closed the foot up, but he still opened the door. He helps her as she's going up the steps, but you're not noticing that her arm is outstretched. He's pulling her. Oh, he just loves her. She don't know she don't know how to treat that man. Because he just loves her. Let me help y'all out. Love is often associated with an intense feeling. I'm going to read it to you. Which in turn is often a self-centered and a non-committal feeling. Watch this. If love is shallowly rooted in you, watch this, in your or their pleasant emotions or their physical feeling, it turns off as easy as it turns on. Y'all ready for it? Y'all ready? I'm gonna give it to you. Love don't live here. Where? Anymore. Y'all know it. Y'all done heard something. You got some age on you. You done heard that lyric. Love don't live here anymore. Well, where did love move to if it don't live here anymore? I'm going to tell you what don't live there anymore. A feeling for you don't live here no more. See, you feeling, watch it, your feelings have changed for them because, y'all ready? Because they've done something you didn't like. Oh, y'all looking at me like you're mad. I got a little note in here. There's nothing wrong with wanting to experience good emotions towards the person we want to love forever. There's nothing wrong with that. However, if that feeling is the foundation of the relationship is in trouble. If the kind of love we see demonstrated today, today's sex-saturated culture, I'm finna help you. Y'all ready? Is what we're looking for. No wonder it seems difficult to find Mr. and Mrs. Right. The truth be told, it's not true. It's not true love we're after, but an experience that by nature can't last long. You're looking for an emotional experience, and you're looking for an emotional experience from somebody that's just as jacked up as you are. Slow down so you catch it. I want you to think about how your emotions change as it relates to you. And then you have to understand how the person that you're looking at has emotions that change as it relates to them. Listen to me. It's a chess match that you're playing with emotions. Checkmate. You're doing this. You're doing a checkmate. You're playing with emotions, but that's not love. See, you keep drawing to people. You keep drawing to individuals because of a emotional connection that ain't gonna last. Okay. You birthed them children. Sometimes you don't like them, but they're yours. Say amen. See, they are yours, and they do something that you don't like, and you start questioning why. You start asking yourself, why would you do something that stupid? And the first thing go through your mind is, I don't even know why I brought you in this world. That's an emotion. And God says to you, and he says to me, why? Why? You doing all this stuff to discredit, all this stuff to make folks not want to come to me. You're doing all this stuff to cause me to look like I'm not a good parent. Why? The same question that you ask about your children is the same question that God asks you about you. Okay, since you're getting the attitude, I'm going to help you out a little bit more. To understand love, you got to hear me now. To understand love, you have to have knowledge of God. Don't miss that. In order for you to understand love, you have to have a relationship with God. In order for you to be able to demonstrate love, you have to have a relationship with God. You say, well, why you keep tying all this love back to God? Because right here in 1 John 4:8, it says, whoever does not love does not know God, because God is what? He's what? So if God is love and God is the standard of love, then in order for you to understand the standard, you got to understand who? God. The problem is you and I have been brought up, put in our minds and put in our perception that the only way that we can understand love is we have to experience it. Somebody has to make your stomach start just having butterfly. You can't eat. You can't sleep. I'm up all night just thinking about you. Have you ever thought that was gas? Really, you can't eat because you got acid reflux. But you call it love. I want you to hear me, people. I want you to hear me because I'm going to take my time and explain it to you. This is not a one-night stand. This here is a long journey. Why? Because I need for you to get it. Quit giving folks access to your heart, and watch it. And all they want is your body. Y'all missed it. Y'all missed it. Y'all missed it. See, you're giving people access to a place that they have no business inventorying. And the reason why you do it is because you have so many emotions running through your body. I'm getting old and I'm not gonna be able to find Mr. Right. I'm getting old and I ain't gonna be able to find Miss Right. I'm getting old, I ain't gonna be able to have no children. I'm getting old. Let me tell you who, a lady named Sarah and a dude named Abraham in their 90s, and they having chillings. Now let me help you out. Let me help you out. This is what you have to remember as you journey on understanding love and finding true love. Y'all ready? Is there anything too hard for God? You have to keep that in your mind as you're trying to do this thing called life, as you're trying to do this thing called falling in love. Is there anything too hard for God? God is saying to you, find something that's hard for me to do, and I'll show you I can do it. Here's the problem. You think it's too hard because you trying to do it. You trying to find Mr. Right. You know, I told you last week, here you have Isaac. Isaac is out of town. Isaac is visiting folks. He's actually grieving. His mother has passed, and so he's dealing with life. So here's Isaac out of town. But his father, this is going to get you. His father Abraham is telling the servant, I see my son's pain. I understand my son's pain because I'm grieving because his mother's gone too. But the problem that I need to make sure I solve, watch it, before I leave is to find someone not to replace his mama, but somebody that he can love. Now you got to catch that. Here you have a father looking out for a wounded son, and the father is on his way out, but he don't want to leave his son in a position to where he can't experience love. That's why I put it on your notes, because I want you to see it again. Then Isaac, verse 67, Genesis 24:67. Then Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent. Why he didn't take him to hers? Answer that question. Why didn't Isaac take his future wife, present wife, to his tent? Why did he take her to his mother's tent? Take and go home and do some theology on that. Because I need for you to understand how critical it is to understand a commitment and love. Because you got to understand. The text says, I didn't say it. It said, then Isaac brought her, verse 67, into his mother's tent. And he took Rebekah, and she became his wife. And watch what happens next. And it says that, and he loved her. He just met this woman. Let me tell you something. When God matches you with your mate, you're going to experience love. Don't miss that. See, when you go get your own mate, you experience what you experience. But when God puts you together, you're going to experience love. Why? Because the person that he's putting you with loves him. And that's all they know about love, is the type of love that they've given him. Him being God. See, that's why it's so important for you to understand. I got it right here. True love, according to the Bible, is rooted in two main areas. First, sacrifice. We must be willing to lose to gain. What are you willing to give up so that God can give you what true love looks like? I'm going to tell you what the problem is. I'm going to help you right now. You don't want to give up nothing. You want it all. I ain't scared of y'all this morning. So y'all will know. You don't want to give in. You think you always right. They got to do what I say. I make the most money. I had all this before she got here. I had all this before he got here. What are you willing to sacrifice? Because if you're going to experience love, you're going to make sacrifices. Give you something to think about. This. I told y'all it's going to be rough this morning, but we're going to get through it together. You got to be willing to commit. Nothing, I'm finna mess with you, nothing should come between, nor should you bring anything into your marriage. Did you catch it? You shouldn't let listen. Majority of Sherry and I's counseling with couples is this. When my mama said that she been noticing, I don't want to know what your mama said. Get your mama out your house. Pastor, that's wrong. That's my mama. Why is she in your house? Well, that's my mama. She was your mama at her house. You got your own house now. Why you up here? Listen. I'm not ever going to tell anybody to disrespect their mom. Never. Because I love mine dearly. But my mama put me in check when I first got married. And it's still there today. Sharon was wrong. She knows she was wrong. We had a disagreement. And I told her, do what you got to do. She went to her mama's house. I went to my mama's house. I'm laying in the bed smelling grits and eggs. Whew. Some good bacon. I'm home now. Get up, eat breakfast. Woo! Y'all, I'm telling you, that was some good breakfast. And my mom said, what's Sherry? I said, she at her mama's house. Said it with pride. I said, she ticked me off. She said, huh? She said, but what's Sharon at? I said, I know darn well my mama heard me. I told her she was at her mama's house. Y'all ready? She said, you can't stay here. I like my bedroom right over there. She said, you can't stay here unless Sharon with you. You married now. I said, but she ticked me off and she did my, I don't want to hear what she did. Y'all need to fix that. And you go on up there to Moon, that's what she used to come in my life. You go on up there with Moon Roof and get your wife and y'all straighten it out. She said, I don't need to know what she did. All I need for you to know is you can't come here no more without Sharon. I said, she don't love me anymore. My mama of all people telling me I can't come home without my wife. You know what she was telling me? You made a commitment. You said in front of everybody in that church packed, for better and for worse. And I said, and y'all, everybody in here don't want to go back home. Look at this out here like, yes, Lord, I'm ready to go today. But I want you to hear me. I want you to hear me. If you're not willing to sacrifice and you're not willing to be totally committed, don't get yourself in a situation where you got somebody that says, I want to marry you. You need to tell, let me go ahead and put it out there for you. You need to tell this person that's serious with you and you ain't serious with them. You need to tell them up front, I ain't willing to sacrifice, meaning I ain't finna share. And the second thing I need to let you know is I really ain't committed. You tick me off, I'm going to find somebody else to replace you. You know, that's the thing that they'll tell you in a minute. They say, you are replaceable. I was like, huh? They said, you are I'm like, just like that, you can replace somebody, bro. Look at him like, yeah, dog. Yeah, Pastor, I can do it just like that. Give me another one. You know what that tells me? You ain't committed. Now, finna help you. John 15:13 says, greater love, here we go, has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's what? Friend. I want you to read that slow, because I know you done read that many a times. It says, greater love has no one than this, to lay one's life, watch this, for one's friend. Y'all see it? If you love your friend enough to die for your friend, then you should never question willing to die for your mate. Yeah, I knew that'd get your attention. You say, well, Pastor, what if I'm the one killing him? No, but I want you to think about that. Some of y'all that's in this room today, and some that's watching Facebook and YouTube, I want you to think about that. You would do more for your girlfriend than you will for your husband. Some of y'all in here would do more for your homeboys than you will for your wife. That's not true love. Because see, what you're telling your mate is, y'all ready? I'm finna give it to you. What you're telling your mate is this: don't depend on me. You're telling your mate, don't depend. When times get hard, I can go to my homeboy and he'll help me out. But now you're not married to your homeboy. You married to her. So you're telling me when times get hard, you can't talk to your wife? Let that sink in. You mean to tell me you can't say, baby, we need to talk. I'm going through such and such. You can't have that kind of conversation? Well, she won't understand. Huh? Let me, because this is another part of another sermon, but I want to get it to you up front. Mister, when you going through, she going through. Just so you know, when you having a jacked up day, she having a jacked up day. Why? Because she gonna see it in you. Because she love you. So why don't you talk to the one that can, watch it, navigate through it with you, because they already in it with you. Oh, y'all looking like y'all just heard that's fresh and brand new. But I'm trying to help you understand the reason why the divorce courts are staying so full is because the relationship is based on emotions rather than on love. And if you're basing a relationship on love, when you going through, they going through. And I'm finna hit you. When you going through something, that is the prime time to pray, right? When you're having life when life deals you a bad hand, why do you pray? I'm gonna tell you why you pray. Because you know that if you can put God in it with you, you can go through it. And as you praying and asking God to help give you wisdom on how to go through what you're going through, you also in the back of your mind saying, I trust you, God. I know that you can help me with this. I understand you can help me with this. And so, God, I know you even told me you would never leave me nor forsake me. So since I'm going through all this, Lord, how we going to get this taken care of? You notice how I went from single to plural? The more you put God in it, the better your chances are. Okay, since you didn't like that. If you look at Calvary, do you think Jesus went to the cross off of emotions? I love all y'all, but they ain't finna let nobody hurt me for you. And I'm gonna tell you right now, don't you let nobody hurt you about me. You just keep on moving. I want you to understand, Jesus says, I went to Calvary not off an emotion. I went to Calvary off of a relationship of love. That's why he says, no greater love than this is for a, watch it, because you would, watch it. He says, no watch it, greater love that has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friend. Now I'm looking at some folks in here, as the comedian said, that I know you won't even let somebody spend the night at your place. But I ask you to give me all your organs to help me to live. You're going to say what? I pray for you. And then you may even get into the flesh. Have you lost your mind? Why? No greater love. You say you love me. I'm finna help you. What about romance? I want y'all to think about this. And I want you to think, what about romance? Romance. What about romance in a relationship that is headed to marriage? Y'all want me to tell you something? True romance is connected to two areas. First area, I want you to get it. True romance is designed to lead and to grow within a marriage commitment. Notice I got on here Genesis 2:24. That is why a man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife, and they become what? One flesh. Now, I'm going to help you. True romance is designed to take you away from something and to connect you to something. Did you catch that? Because the text says that you are to leave your father and your mother and you are to connect with your what? Now, ladies, I'm going to say this again. If he's still connected to his mama's breast, you leave him there. Say amen, and they'll know what we're talking about. See, if he's still suckling on his mama, sweet, you don't stand a chance, darling. This side got it. I got to work over here. Y'all killing me over here. See, if a man runs to his mama for everything, you better leave him with his mama. I'm just being honest with you. You best leave him there. You know what I had to say? Jesus told him, he said, if you got an alt with your brother or sister, he said, leave that gift where? At the altar. Leave him there. Don't take him home. You know why? Because he ain't going to ever grow in love with you. He's not going to love you. Well, Pastor, I want a man that loves his mama. I know every woman wants a man that loves his mama. But you don't want a man that's in love with his mama. I let that sink in. This side got it. I don't have to work over here. See, there has to be a separation in there somewhere. You've got to release your child. You've got to set them free. But if their total dependence is on you, they'll never love another person. You know why? Because they don't have the ability to do it. Because you haven't given them the opportunity to experience hurt. Every woman in here then dated some guy. She thought he loved her. She thought that he was the best thing going since sliced bread. And that somewhere along the way in that relationship, he broke her heart. Somewhere along the way, it happened. And guess what? She didn't marry him. Why? Because he broke her heart. And ladies, so you'll know that same experience happens to a man. He may not tell you that, but some woman done broke his heart, and he real cautious with you. That's why it take you. That's why you always hear him say, "Mm-hmm, mm-hmm." He's remembering how that other woman did it. Oh, I just got this free too. Y'all young folk, y'all ain't experiencing love. You just managing woman, as the most folks say. You just she want y'all ain't experiencing love. But they love me. Mannish and womanish. Ask your parents what that means when you get home. But I want you to think about this. The second thing, true romance is designed to unify, not to divide. Stick together like glue is the idea of unite. I want you to think about something. When God tells us, and he tells us, he said, the two becoming one flesh, he's talking about uniting two people. And you got to catch this. And it's like he's putting some super glue in between the two of you. And then God presses y'all together. And when he presses y'all together, watch this. Once you and the mate and that glue dry, y'all stuck. And the only way you can get that apart is you got to rip it apart. That's why you have pain and hurt in divorce. Because you're ripping from each other. You're taking apart, even though you say you don't love them no more, you took something from them. You got something, watch it, that belongs to them with you, watch it, and you took it with you when you rip yourselves apart. If you take a look at a piece of paper. If you take a piece of paper and glue it together and you try and pull it apart, you tearing stuff loose. But some of that paper stays with the other paper. Why? Because it wasn't supposed to come apart. And that's why when you divorce, that's why he says unite, not separate. What he's saying is you two are so tight that joined together that even if you decide to leave, you're still taking a part of them with you. All right, get to the way. When your mate passes, now watch this. You still are alive, but some of you died. Why? Because you stayed together like glue. So some of you got ripped apart in the grave. You hear folks that been married and they widows, and you hear them say, yeah, I sure do miss her, or I sure do miss him. What they really saying is, I still have a part of them with me. That's all they're saying. I still got a part of them with me. We're going to talk about that too. Third thing is, true romance is designed to die to yourself daily, become one flesh is the total sacrifice. Now, why did I do it that way? It's sometimes you need to just let it go. That's called dying to yourself. Really. Sharon, I die to myself all the time around Sharon. I just let her go. That's gone. It's gone. And so then she see me die and she pull even more. And then some days, y'all ready? Some days I don't sacrifice. I say, I shall not be moved. Now, watch this. But that's a part of love. That's a part of love. I know some days she gonna win. I know some days I'm gonna win. But at the end of the day, y'all ready? Even if she win, I win. See, it ain't watch it. I want y'all married couple to hear this. You are not in competition with each other. You on the same team. Quit listening to your girlfriend and your homeboy saying this and this and this. Listen, it might work good in their house. It may work perfect in their house, but that is their house. Don't bring that to your house. Because see, how can I say it lovingly? Everybody don't want to see y'all happy. Okay, I go ahead and say it that way. Everybody don't want to see y'all happy. Okay? Everybody don't want to see you with a good man. Everybody don't want to see you with a good one. I don't care what they say. If they ain't got one, they ain't rooting for you. That sounded good though, didn't it, Kim? Now that did sound good. If they ain't got a good woman and they know you got a good woman, Homeboy looking at you side, man, what, how did you, they're said on sly. So how you and Sharon making it? One day at a time. And then this is what the women will say. Y'all ready? This is what the women say to Sharon. Girl, how you put up with him? She said, I let him get it all out before he get home. What they really saying is, I want somebody to make me happy and smile and enjoy life. That's all they saying. I told her, I said, girl, I still got it. I tell you what. But anyway, so she's sitting there looking at me. So I want you to understand something. It is challenging. Challenging, y'all ready? To try and watch it, meet the expectations. Y'all ready? I just got this. It's difficult and challenging to try and meet the expectations of outsiders. I told y'all I just got it. See, if you letting outsiders try and tell you how to run your house, and you got somebody on the inside of your house that don't know where you're getting your information from, it's challenging. It's really challenging. And what God says is, why aren't you talking to me about him? Why aren't you talking to me about her? Now, I'm going to tell y'all something, and this is something that you need to remember. When you talk to God about your mate, 10 times out of 10, God going to tell you what's wrong with you. That's why y'all don't talk to God about your mate, ain't it? He ain't going to tell me I'm wrong. God ain't going to tell me I'm wrong. I mean, seriously, God will take, if I say, Lord, she such, it's like God said, and you such. I didn't ask you about me. I'm talking about Sharon right now. And he just continues to drive it home. You know what he's telling me? I'm drilling you to becoming one flesh. That's all he's doing. I'm navigating you to become one flesh. Now, here we go. Oh, this is going to get you. What are some of the things that may cause me not to find Mr. and Mrs. Right? I've been wanting to get y'all here for the longest, and I'm here now. Thinking there's only one right person for us. Okay. Whomever. Y'all ready? Whomever? Whomever. Y'all say that. Now, I love the way y'all got real projectile on that. Yeah, you said whomever. Now, I want you to hear me. Y'all ready? Whomever we choose to marry becomes the what? I just want you to get there. If you telling God, because I want you to hear me, because I want you to get this. If you're telling God that this is the person that you want to marry, you're telling God also this is the right one. See how easy that was? Okay, since y'all didn't respond. Whomever we choose to marry become the right one for us because, watch this, we've made a lifetime commitment to that person. See, I don't want you to leave here today thinking that you can't have a Mr. or Mrs. Right. I don't want you to leave here thinking that. God is not so this big ogre up in the sky saying, I want you to stay single the rest of your life. That's not God's plan. But God says, I gave you all the same thing. And you know what that was? A free will. God says, if you want to marry someone, marry. If you want to stay single, stay single. He said, but I'm allowing you to use your free will to make that choice. When you have, watch it, when you understand that God is not a bully, then once you understand that, you will see how your free will makes you a better person. Okay, give it to you this way. When you hear somebody say that the numbers are not in your favor, please don't panic. Please don't panic. Because see, the thing out there now is for a brother, they say for a brother that ain't on the down low, he has an opportunity to get, he got 30 single women out there he can get. A brother, one man has 30 women to choose from. I let that soak in. I'm studying theology, not math. But my math that I do know, see, it's in my favor if I'm single as a black man. Now, when I hear a brother say it ain't no good women out there, I said, you done skipped 30 good ones. I tell him, I'm serious. I said, you done skipped 30 good women. Because there are 30 good women out there that's looking for that one, what? Good man. My analysis is you don't want a woman. And I'm going to leave that right there. You say, but I'm finna help you. Our true love must be a believer who is living for the Lord and for his kingdom. According to 2 Corinthians 6:14, he said, do not be what? Yoked together with what? Unbelievers. For what this, I want you to listen to how Paul throws this around. Paul says, for what do righteousness and wickedness have in common? Now you catch what he just said. What does a heathen and a good person have in common? What do they have in nothing? Or what, watch this, or what fellowship can light and darkness have? Now, he's saying, how do you combine light and darkness? You can't. You cannot combine light and darkness. But then he says something else. What harmony is there between Christian and Baal? What harmony do you have with dating a devil? But this is what I got for you. Or what does a believer have in common with an unbeliever? Paul is making the argument that you have nothing in common nor have a reason to be in a relationship with them. He said, why are you even dating them? Now I'm finna say something that ain't on your notes, and I'm going to say it quick because I don't want you to think that I'm being ugly. Don't date all Christians. Yeah, I mess you up, didn't I? See, every Christian ain't for you to date. I didn't say date an unbeliever. I said don't date all Christians, meaning that some folks you don't need to date that say they are Christian. Because some of them just lying. They say they Christians, but they wolves in sheep clothing. Okay, I heard you. I heard you. You said I married it. But I just want to make sure that you know that some folks come to church to find a mate, and some folk come to church to get a mate. Y'all didn't know that? I could take you some of these big churches and them folk walking around in there. Is she singing? Is he singing? Ain't heard nothing the preacher say. But they in there looking for a mate. I want me a good church man, a good church woman. And then they marry. I want me a good deacon. I'm going to get rid of just a regular church member. I want a deacon now. Then you leave that deacon. I want me an elder. That deacon ain't right. I want an elder. And then you get an elder. I want a bishop. Oh, you want a bishop now? Yeah, I want me a bishop. Then that bishop ain't right. Give me an apostle. I want me a fresh apostle. And all this is in church. Did y'all know that the pulpit's divorcing at the same rate as the pew? Say it slow so y'all will catch it. More pastors are getting divorced than some of the members. But now they say greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. But he can't get the one that's greater in him to keep his marriage together. But he won't tell you how to keep yours. If it don't, listen, I can't export what ain't working at my port. Now, does that mean that when you get married, it's going to be perfect? Does that mean that y'all ain't going to have disagreement? Does that mean that you ain't going to have your bag packed ready to go one day she come home because you looking like, I'm just sitting there? If you ain't experienced that, you ain't married. Just being honest with you. Someday you sitting there, you driving home from work and you say, Lord, I don't want no problem. But if I get home and that woman there and she acting up today, I'm leaving. So Lord, fix it. Don't let her be there when I get there. And if you ever noticed that she always there, she ain't never. But then when y'all ready? But then when you need her to be at home, she ain't there. Why you laughing so hard? That's truth, ain't it? Okay. But I want you to think about something. You are wanting to go to the altar, but you have not talked to the one that created the altar. And so since you hadn't talked to the one that created the altar, watch it, you don't know what love is. Okay, since y'all getting the attitude, we must be in a harmonized relationship with God in order to be, y'all ready? In order to be sensitive to his heart, for your heart to know that this is the one. If God does not have your heart totally, I promise you, please listen to me. If God does not have your heart totally, I promise you, you will never know when that's the right one. And the reason you won't know is because of what I got down here. If any of you lack wisdom, you must ask the preacher, who gives generously to all without finding fault. What did it say? Ask who? Who? Well, why y'all always run to the pastor? Pastor, what you think? I'm asking. I'm just asking. I have it, Kenneth, I have it all the time. I want to introduce you to my boyfriend, Pastor Cole. You can tell me what you think. I ain't going home with him. Why are you asking me? Well, y'all ready? Because I value your opinion. Then you marry him, and 6 months later, I wouldn't have married him if you hadn't told me to. Y'all know, hey, I'm all right to me. Come on, okay. I wish I then you stop coming to church here because you married him. And it's my fault. I'm gonna quit watching Pastor on Facebook and YouTube because I married this joker that he said was all right. I'm helping some pastors out right now. Quit telling folk, if God hadn't blessed their union, you don't bless their union. That guy called me the other day. He said, "Hey, Pastor, how you doing?" I said, "Okay." He said, "Look here. I ain't gonna be able to do this wedding, but I need for you to do it for me." I said, "You a lie." He said, "You ain't gonna do that for me, brother?" I said, He said, "Why?" I said, "Number one, I don't know him. Number two, I hadn't talked to him. Three, you may be putting the same tools together." Devil the only one got it. So I told him, I said, "I don't want to put my name on something that God hadn't ordained." He said, "But Pastor, they good people." I said, "Okay." I said, "If they so good, tell them to change the date to fit your schedule." He got quiet like y'all just did. "Pastor, they done paid for this venue." Now notice what he said. They done paid for the venue. Oh, okay. Tell them to do the reception at the venue. He said, "Huh?" I said, "They done paid for it. Let them go ahead and do the reception." Y'all looking at me like he would. I said, "There's no covenantal agreement that has taken place yet. Go ahead and do the reception. Go ahead and do it. And then let me do the wedding afterward." He said, "That's backwards." I said, "No, that's forward." I said, "Because they might well have a good time now, because when they get married, all them days gone." He told me, "You crazy." I told him, "I want you to understand something. When you're making a commitment such as saying, 'I do,' y'all don't, I want y'all to hear me now, because we're going to talk about this a little bit later on. When you say I do, what you're telling God is, I need for you to stamp this saying you honoring it. Don't miss what I just said. When you, y'all, I'm trying to get to my last point. Dearly beloved, we're gathered here today in the presence of who? Who? And what else? These witnesses. Now, if you wouldn't have never invited God to your wedding, he wouldn't have come. When you stood there and let that preacher say, dearly beloved, we're gathered here today in the presence of God and these witnesses. When you stood there and let him tell God, hey, come down here and watch this. God said, I'm on my way. He didn't even put on no suit. He just showed up. And watch this. And that preacher says, and this is so cool. And because I do them, and I say this, and I always tell the guys, I always say, now listen to what I'm getting ready to say, brother. I said, you said you're going to love her, honor her, cherish her, forsake all others. And I just stopped. And the woman normally do like that sister shit did, like, say it. I want to hear you say it. Because see, when you say forsake all others, what you just told her is, yes, there's a lot of stuff on the menu, but I have gotten, watch it, I don't want to order. When you say I forsake all others, you're telling this woman, I don't want another woman, I want you, and you only. Do y'all know most of the time when I'm standing, I do it, I don't let them rehearse it. I do it in front of everybody. You know what those brothers do? I said, we ain't gonna move until you answer. Now, daddy looking, uncle's looking, everybody looking at him now saying, yeah, go ahead and answer. And then he'll be like, I do. I said, they didn't hear you. Don't I do that, baby? I tell them, I said, they didn't hear you. I do. I said, did y'all hear me in the back there? And somebody gonna always say, no. And I tell them, I said, they need to hear you in the back. I do. I said, no, that wasn't so hard, was it? And when I asked the lady the same thing, she said, I do. I'm like, bro, you in trouble. Commitment. So you got to understand, when you understand love, you understand commitment. When you understand love, you understand sacrifice. Now watch this. What about the completion of myself? Now this is what I'm finna get you. I feel like I need somebody to complete me. Now haven't y'all heard somebody say that? Yeah, I knew y'all would know that one. Now I'm gonna answer it. So next time we get together, you can smile and say, my pastor told me how to handle you. Thinking a person will or can fulfill us, that's what we say. That's what we're thinking. Honestly, we're thinking, if I get married, they're going to complete me. That's what we're thinking. If I get married, they're going to take care of all my weak spots. That's what we think. But let me tell you something. When you get married, you feel even more broken. Say amen, gentlemen. These guys like, yes, Lord, we do. I'm going to tell you why we feel even broken. We can't do what we used to do. Got to go home. That's what we said. I got to go home. You know why? I got a wife now. Now, you used to getting off work, go drink a few cold with the guys, have a good time. I got to go home. Got to cut my own grass. I ain't living in no apartment no more. If her car ain't got no gas, I got to put some gas in her car and my car. I got to wash her car before I wash my car. That ain't fulfilling, that's killing. Now, I want y'all to hear me. I don't want y'all to think that that's bad. All that I just said is good Why? Because she knows she can count on you. Think about it. She knows now. I know I can count on you. So only God can fully fulfill us. So we don't have to find romantic love to have a sense of fulfillment. Now here you go. None of us is perfect, and to expect another imperfect human being to meet every need is unrealistic. You trying to find somebody that's just as jacked up as you are to help you become complete. The school I went to, negative plus negative equal what? Negative. All y'all messed up, and you sitting here thinking, oh, if I marry you, you're going to complete me. Now, if they marry you, they're going to show you how messed up you really are. They're going to, listen, okay, this is free. When you dating, y'all ready? Young folk, y'all old folk, y'all done been down this illustrious road, so I'm helping the young folks. I'm trying to save our future. When you date, I want y'all to hear me. When you date, they lying to you. When you date, she lying to you. You say, no, she ain't. Yes, she am. Tell you why I know she lying to you. She said, I love you with all my heart. She lying. She lying. The reason I know they lying, you want me to tell you how I know they lying? Get them mad. I can't stand you. You make me sick. But you love me with all your heart. Now I'm he over there like, you know what? That does make sense. I'm glad I came to church today. But I want you to hear me. Didn't she just tell you she loved you with all her heart? And now you done rubbed her the wrong way. Or she seen you with another girl. Y'all, she don't know that y'all just carrying on a conversation. She don't know. But she dive all in. Who is this? And all that. You said, oh, calm down, man. It ain't that serious. Why she going all crazy? I'll tell you why. Love is patient, kind, forgiving, long suffering. Didn't she tell you she loved you? Well, why she wasn't patient enough for you to introduce her to your friend? If she said she loved you, why she wouldn't? Look at you, you're cracking up. If she said she loved you, why was she not kind to your friend? I'm trying to help y'all young folk. If she clown on you, I keep saying she, y'all might be doing that now. Y'all young brother, I don't know, y'all young Thundercat now. But if she clown on you now, it gonna get worse if you say I do. You trying to get home from work, got caught in traffic. Why you late? Traffic. I was looking on my phone and it didn't show no traffic. Why y'all laughing? Y'all I gave y'all this. This is unrealistic. And it's unhealthy. That's giving another human being too much control over your life instead of God. When you let somebody control you that much, that's unhealthy. And I'm saying that to the married couples as well. Don't give that much control of who you are to your mate. Yes, you are to sacrifice and commit to each other, but when you cannot breathe unless they tell you to breathe, that's unhealthy. That right there, it's unhealthy for your mate to be the, watch it, I gotta say it. It's unhealthy for your mate to tell you who your friends are. Let that marinate. See, I don't like him, so you need to stop being his friend. I don't like him because he don't need, you know, I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't want you to be around them no more. That's unhealthy. I'm finna help you. While you were dating, she didn't tell you that she didn't like him. Why, when she got to the altar, she told you she didn't like him? Now, I'm going to tell y'all up front. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. It's going to be some stuff I'm going to say that's going to make you scratch your head and ask God, has my pastor lost his mind? But see, the reason you're going to be asking God, have I lost my mind? Because I'm going to be all in your Kool-Aid. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you straight from the word of God. I got folks, characters in this Bible that I can pull out and lay in your lap that can show you how to love people, even if, y'all ready? Even if you don't think they're lovable. Because God loved you while you were jacked up. I told one of my pastor friends, I said, listen, man, I said, we've got to be honest with folk and stop being dishonest with people in the pulpit. Meaning that I got pastor friends of mine that they won't do interracial dating. Marriages. They say, I just don't believe God honors that. And my question to them was, in Hebrews, the scriptures plainly declare that marriage is honorable to all. And the marriage bed is undefiled. I said, so when you tell me that you're not going to marry somebody because of skin pigmentation, I have a problem with that. And some of y'all done missed a good husband or a good wife because you've been listening to mom and dad say, don't marry outside your race. And I'm baffled by it because you marry inside your race and you can't tell. You marry inside your race and go through hell. Well, at least you need to be happy. And you need to be enjoying the covenant of marriage. Well, Pastor, I just don't believe in that. I didn't ask you what you believe. See, you keep getting it mixed up. I got to go home. I got to eat. I want y'all to hear me. You keep trying to get your child to marry somebody that you want them to marry. They didn't tell you not to marry that no good parent that's in their house with you. They missed it. They get on the way home. They didn't tell you. Somebody in your family told you not to marry that joker you married to, but you went on and married him. Somebody told you not to marry her, but you married her. And then you got 35, 40 years in, and you wake up one morning, he wasn't that bad, or she wasn't that bad after all. When you know it's love from God, external factors, I'm going back to it, don't matter. It don't matter. Because you know that person's going to love you unconditionally. I just don't see how y'all match. I love to hear people say that. I don't see how y'all match. Sharing them work me. I told you, a good woman. The Bible says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and finds favor of the Lord in Proverbs. Let me ask you something. Sharon done kept me from cussing out a lot of people that said stuff that was stupid to me. She'll be like, John, and I know she know I'm finna go in. She said, John, she said, you know what? That's a good wife. That's a good wife. And some days that she ain't around, and you call yourself a pastor. Not right now. I got some business with you. So I want y'all to think through this over the next couple of weeks when we get back together. I want you to think through something. I want you to think through this. Have I loved God well enough? Now you got to hear me. Have I loved God well enough to where God can trust me with something that he loves? Now that was a good note to write down. You're right. Have I loved God good enough to where he can trust me with something that he loves? Think about that now. You don't just give all of you to your children. You give parts of them. You make sure they understand when you do life with. But I'm asking you from what God's perspective, have I loved God good enough to where he can, now notice the little line, to where he can trust me with something that he loves? Father, we love you so much and thank you for this time. We pray and ask, Lord, that you in your own sovereign way, that you will allow your Holy Spirit to continue to guide us and strengthen us and encourage us. But Lord, the ultimate goal is for us to glorify you in every aspect of our lives. And Father, I say to you, thank you for allowing me to be an encouragement to your people, be an encouragement to this church, this ministry, to the lives of the people that you placed here. And Father, I'm thanking you in advance for all the many blessings that you're going to get, not me, but you're going to get from someone listening to this message and being encouraged to understand they have to learn how to love you first in order to find true love. And we ask it all in your son, Jesus Christ's name, we do pray. Amen. Now, I want you to guys, thank you again, Facebook family and friends, for watching and tuning in. We will catch up with you on next week. Have an awesome, awesome week. And hey, don't forget, we got our cornhole tournament that's this weekend, September the 7th, in Locust Grove at 3904 Highway 42 South, the big metropolitan city of Locust Grove. Come and help us raise money to help needy kids for Christmas. God bless you.